Gator don't play no shit. You feel me?
Is a matter of belief, but we are certain that Satanism exists.
All right, so we're recording now. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to That Other Horror Podcast. So many podcasts out there try to be the one and the only. We don't. We try to be that other one. I am your host, Ryan, and with me, as always, is your host, Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Ryan.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. And down in the bottom, we got Clint Leahy,
yeah. So a reference to the movie we're talking about today.
Watched this movie since I was like 8 years old, and I don't.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
Okay,
References. That's cool.
You know how Ryan is with names.
Me
I don't know your guys' names unless they're on this. And we've decided to get together and talk about another movie. But before we get into that, as always, we like to do that thing with our feet. And we're just going to go around and shoot the shit a bit before we start talking about the movie. Nicole, what you been up to?
Trying to get ready for Christmas. It's horrible. I did. I did take Bella to see Santa Claus yesterday, so that was fun. I think I sent you guys the picture.
I did see it. Yes.
You did? Yep.
Yeah. She was real good. There were like 1,000 other dogs there, but you know.
So was this a dog? Was this a Santa especially for dogs, or was this like an anybody can come Santa?
No, it's in PetSmart.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple weekends before December every year they do the free photos with Santa. You just bring your dog in and take their picture, and of course I got to dress mine up. I made her a dress and a hat, and she looked like a little canine Rockette. It was really cute.
It was a lovely dress. It was
adorable.
She was adorable.
Yes. Other than that, not too much. I've been watching. I watched Escape at Dannemora on Netflix, and I have to recommend this to everybody. It was so good. It was so good. It's about a woman who works in Dannemora, which is a maximum security prison, and she's a seamstress, and she runs the clothing manufacturing part of the prison. And she has an affair with two of the inmates and helps them escape. It was really good.
Why does it sound like it's based on a true story?
It is based on a true story.
Of course,
not too long ago for upstate New York. I love that. I love the little docuseries things. But it was very good. Patricia Arquette was scary. Like she was scary. It's hard to believe it's her. The way they have her made up, she was looking haggard. She was really looking rough, but I would recommend it. It was extremely good. Other than that, not much. I think last week I talked about From, because I absolutely love that show, and nobody I know watches it. So I have nobody. You watch it?
Well, to be fair, it's one of the. Remember how in the way back times we were talking about TV shows, and I said there's a lot of shows I love, and I inexplicably stopped watching for some reason. You can add From to that list. Absolutely loved it. Got like 3 episodes into season 2. Never fucking went back. Don't know why. Love the show.
You got to go back. It's so good. It's getting so good. I am right on top of the conspiracy theories with everybody. It's crazy.
Feels like a horror movie version of Lost. Like
it is.
It's just like
it's the same, but got people who did Lost. So.
Oh, now it's okay. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's on the creepy side.
Definitely creepy. There's a good example
Yeah.
of people that smile that are fucking creepy.
That one actor,
Oh yeah,
Jamie Maguire, I think his name is, terrifies me.
the redhead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is not a lot really scares me, but he scares me. Like I see his face in my closet when the light's not on type scary.
Mhm.
Like
No, this guy, yeah, that guy has spooky face nailed down to
he's
a T.
yeah, terrifying. Um Other than that, that's it.
Cool.
Yep.
Clint, what you been up to?
Oh, well, I didn't do a lot this past week except watch a bunch of movies. Let's see. I decided because of an interview that I did last week that I wanted to rewatch the movie Fright Night from 1985, and went ahead and did that. And you know what? Still holds up. I think that's a good one. Chris Sarandon he was pretty perfect in that.
Yeah.
I have to say. And then I decided that I wanted something brain dead. I wanted to remind myself that there actually were some decent Steven Seagal movies out there. So I watched Above the Law. Yeah. He's got a handful of good ones, you know what I mean? And a whole bunch of shitty ones.
Is Above the Law the one with Pam Grier?
Yes,
That
you're
one's good.
absolutely
I
right.
like that one.
Yeah, that is a good one. Then I watched a movie with Nicole and Olin. I watched Orphan First Kill, which was the first watch for me on the back of Orphan that we watched like the week before. And it was actually, I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was actually really good. The setup, I kind of feel like I saw it coming, her overall escape, but I felt like her plan for getting out of the country was very inventive and cool. And then she sets herself up with this family in America and I thought it was like the worst, cruelest joke that you could possibly play on a family that lost a child. But turns out there was a twist, and I didn't feel quite so bad for the family after that. And and it turned out to be like really fun. Although I did nitpick it at the end, there was some bullshit in there. But I was like, it's okay. I still had fun with it. Then I thought I would just hop into the Christmas spirit yesterday, and I watched a couple of back-to-back Christmas flicks. I watched Christmas Bloody Christmas, and then I watched Violent Night. So
two very good choices.
Both very good Christmas movies. I am so happy with the number of Christmas-themed horror movies that have come out in the past few years. They're absolutely worth it. And I think some of these I'm going to end up watching every year because they're just that good.
Like Secret Santa.
Secret Santa is awesome.
That's up there for me. I've watched it like 4 times already this month.
I have the Blu-ray right back there. I will probably watch it again at some point before Christmas gets here.
Fantastic.
That's all I got.
All right. It has not stopped snowing in Canada since December 1st.
Wow.
So, at least in my neck of the woods, we've already got like snowbanks like 12, 15 feet high.
Fuck that.
But today, inexplicably, global warming isn't real, by the way. But today, inexplicably, by the way, instead of snow and ice, we've been pelted with a tropical storm, and almost all the snow is gone.
Nice.
Because it has been raining nonstop all day.
How bad's the flooding? Oh God, all those snowbanks. I can't even.
We're above the flood line, so we're good. But I can't. I feel really bad for anybody that lives like down in a gully or anything. Yeah, that's been about it for me. Been trying to stay dry through all that. As far as watching anything goes, just a couple things. I did get a Christmas flick in myself. I got Ernest Saves Christmas under my belt, which not my favorite Ernest movie, but might be one of the best Christmas movies out there, I feel. Jim Varney was an absolute treasure.
Yeah. What's your favorite? Slam
My
dunk
favorite Ernest? Oh yeah, Slam Dunker. I still remember my review. I have never seen a movie more racist that wasn't aware it was being racist. But no, Ernest. My favorite Ernest movie, probably. I mean, I know it's a horror channel, so I hate to sound cliche, but it's probably Ernest Scared Stupid. That one was. I mean, Eartha Kitt is fucking amazing in it, and like she got the role in Emperor's New Groove because the director of that saw this movie or saw Ernest Scared Stupid. Nice. He was like, she's got to be Yzma in my movie. So
nice. I will always love Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yeah, that one's always low on my list.
Really?
Like out of the 4 original Ernest movies. So you got your Ernest Camp, Saves Christmas, Goes to Jail, and Scared Stupid. Goes to Jail is probably my least favorite out of the 4.
Wow.
It's not I don't dislike it. I just, if I was going to throw an Ernest movie on, maybe Camp's my favorite. Yeah, I'd have to rewatch Camp. I have really fond memories of Ernest Goes to Camp.
Well, flaming toilets getting catapulted, I mean, does speak a lot for films.
Yeah, and the turtles coming down at the end in their little parachutes and biting people in the noses. But yeah, I got that in as my Christmas watch so far. I watched a newer movie, just came to streaming. I watched Venom: The Last Dance. Now, these Tom Hardy Venom movies have been really hit or miss with people. They've all been hits for me. They're dumb, they're fun. They kind of got that feel of, like, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of superhero movies, but like those old school X-Men movies or like Blade, stuff like that. Like it feels like a mid to late 90s superhero movie, just with like modern day special effects. Tom Hardy as Venom and Eddie Brock is fucking hilarious. Have you guys seen the other ones?
No, I saw the first one and I stopped there.
Oh,
yeah.
You're missing out on Woody Harrelson as
I know. I wanted to see that one and I haven't done it yet.
Well, I won't spoil anything. This one though, it doesn't do as much of the superheroing as the previous two. It's very much almost feels like a buddy flick. Like it's just Venom and Eddie hanging out for most of it, shooting the shit, talking, just, living life to their fullest. This was like Tom Hardy was contractually obligated to do 3 Venom movies. So this is if it is, but this could be the final Venom movie we get. So I think they wanted to go out with it just being like more of a feel good buddy flick than anything else. And I think they achieved it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Jake didn't seem to care for it as much. I think he wanted more of an action movie. But no, I had a real good time with it. I recommend it.
Awesome.
Cool.
But yeah, that's about all I got too. So we'll, I guess, dive right into this. 1982's Superstition.
All those stories about murders and ghosts. It's haunted, they say. I'm scared.
Two kids were killed out there. One kid was gutted and slashed to death. The other microwave.
There was a warning.
There are many houses on this foundation. All of them and their tenants come to bad ends.
And only one man listened.
Well, when did this violence begin?
There was a legend.
We want justice! I will not die! Cut the rope!
And only one man believed.
Am I too late? Has it already started?
There is a superstition, and will anyone survive? Superstition. The victims who died were the lucky ones. Superstition.
Directed by James W. Robertson, a man who has not directed much of anything, but, and it makes sense when you watch the movie, he's a well-known cinematographer.
Mm-hmm.
So when you, and it shows very much when you watch this movie that this guy knows how to set up a scene to make it look good. The movie you'd probably know best that he was a cinematographer for was The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You guys see that flick?
I think
Long
so.
time
Yes.
ago, yeah.
Okay. But anyway, before I start, this was my pick. This was my childhood movie. This is one I very much will have the nostalgia blinders on for. So before you hear me gush all about it, I want to hear what you guys thought about it, because this is the first watch for both of you. Who wants to go first?
You can go ahead, Clint.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really know what to say about this thing. I felt like I knew what the story generally was going in. That we were getting some sort of a witch possession or a haunting type movie. That very much came across. I don't know if I completely understood the entire storyline as to how that came to be. And I did feel a little bit like I was misdirected by the caretaker who was on the property and her very strange son. Because I felt like they were more integral to the plot line than what they actually were. But I will say that there was a great deal of kills, like in fast succession, in this movie, which grabbed your attention immediately. I think I counted 5 kills in the first 27 minutes. And that kind of, like, I felt they almost needed to keep that pace in order to make this movie interesting the whole way through, because they grabbed you with that, and I started anticipating it, where I was looking for some weirdo inventive kill like every 3.5 minutes. When that dude was like down in the basement, for example, like just trying to get a moment to himself and like, drinking out of that bottle, and there was like this antique washing machine in front of him. I was like, please let there be a washing machine kill. I mean, I literally want to see this old man's tit in a ringer. I want to see that. You know what I mean? And damn it, I didn't get it. But that's okay. And I was a little bit disappointed in the creature. Like, I felt like they kept it too obscured throughout the movie. Like, the only thing that you really got, other than the dark cloaked flowing figure, was occasionally you'd get like a very like gnarled clawed hand like grabbing someone by the head to like yank them around. You know what I mean? So I feel like I would have been like, they were clearly good at effects on this, and spent some time on that. I feel like I could have stood to get a little bit more of a view of this witch entity. I feel like I blew it all right there.
Fair opening assessment. Can't wait to hear your final rating. Nicole, what were your initial thoughts with the movie?
My initial thoughts, I thought the opening was one of the best I've ever seen. They came out of the gate strong. The head in the microwave.
Best microwave kill in a movie ever. I don't care. This tops Gremlins. I'll say it.
Because I was not expecting, we have the kids making out in the car. She's like, no, it's creepy here. Oh, come on. You said you love me. Typical, 80s thing. And then we get I was not expecting the head to explode at all. He opened the door and the head's just there with the light on. And I'm like, there's a head in the microwave. Cool. And then it blew up.
I wasn't.
I just started shrieking with laughter. That was one of the best things I've ever seen. Uh, I can't believe I never saw this movie. I cannot believe it slipped right by me.
This
I
is one of
love-
those movies. Yeah, this is one of the movies that slipped by everybody. The only reason I'd seen it was because there was a video store going out of business, and my grandpa bought up like almost their entire horror collection on VHS because they were selling them for like 10 cents each. And this was one of them.
You still
That's
have it, don't you?
My VHS copy, I believe so somewhere. I know I have it on DVD and I have it on Blu-ray.
That's so cool.
Wow.
That's so cool. But yeah, my initial assessment is I loved this movie. Loved it.
Fantastic. We got another fan. There are dozens of us. So to go back on a few of the topics you touched on, Clint.
Yes.
Number one, when we're talking about the old man getting his teeth stuck in a washer, you're talking about the dad, right?
Yes.
Reverend George Leahy, played by Larry Pennell, who as a kid I thought was Charles Bronson.
Wow.
I thought it was Olivia Hussey.
You thought the dad was Olivia Hussey?
Melinda's in the kitchen. Something's attacking her. You have to help.
Yeah, that's actually because if it was Charles Bronson, it would have been like, ugh, my wife's in the kitchen. There's some kind of crazy witch going around here. I don't like any of this.
Exactly.
I gotta do something about this.
Yeah, he had the acting range of a cardboard box.
Well, by that time, he had spent so much time trying to bash down the kitchen door that he was emotionally exhausted, and that's the only way he could express what was happening.
Can't break this goddamn door. Sorry.
Wife,
Okay, that was my last bad Charles Bronson impression. Oh my god. Olivia, I was so confused. I'm like, how did she think it was Olivia? I legit thought. You thought I'm like, it doesn't look anything like Olivia.
She's one note.
Because that is
Lizzie's
all I
pro,
think
yes.
of when I see a movie with somebody who
He
can't
doesn't
act.
emote. He doesn't emote at all. But yeah, but we got the rest of the family too. I mean, I would rather give me a guy who doesn't emote any day of the week over whatever the hell it is that Billy's doing in this fucking movie. Because let me tell you, Billy dies like 35 minutes in, and it comes 33 minutes too late.
Agreed.
I hated that kid.
Wow.
And that's another reason I love this movie. They killed 3 kids, one on screen. I love it. I have so much respect for it, especially back then, because back then, killing kids wasn't, heard
It's
of.
taboo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
and
show
then
it
Pet
in a movie.
Sematary came along and killed that.
We're gonna make it okay for everybody else because
Everybody
nobody is
that killed a
topping this.
toddler. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love they killed the whole, and
Yeah, this is not
I'm
a
getting
happy
ahead of
movie.
myself. Go ahead.
No. But yeah, no, the daughters are fine. They're, classic. And that's the thing. There's not a lot of strong female characters in this movie. I'm going to say that right now. Like, you got the daughters and you got the mom. None of them, other than screaming, are good for anything in this movie.
I have never been so happy as when I saw the mother getting thrown around that kitchen like a rag doll.
God, did she ever get thrown around?
I fucking hated her. Oh my
Wow.
God. Your daughter is like, there's something grabbing me in the lake, getting pulled underwater, and you sit there. The only person to jump in
was the priest.
was the priest. Everybody else just sits there watching her drown. What the fuck?
Yeah. And it turns out it was a hand.
Exactly.
So it was the hand of the cop. Because, that's one of the 5 kills. That's a weaker kill in the opening of the movie. Because a lot of these kills are nuts. Like Nicole mentioned the head in the microwave. Boy number 2 gets bisected with a knife while he's trying to climb through the window.
Yeah, that was great.
But my favorite kill in the movie has to be Stacy Keach Sr., who gets a rotating saw blade through his chest. Like the circular saw.
That was funny. That was funny. And the one thing that I noticed is it actually bounced in the right direction. Like they had the mechanics of this actually worked out. Like, because if you've ever watched a circular saw when it runs, like the blade doesn't run forward like you would intuitively think it does. It does run backwards. So when it dropped off and hit the ground, it would have bounced back. And I thought that was pretty cool.
You
It's
watch movies
science,
the way
folks.
I do. I look for the little, inconsistencies like that.
This movie got the science right.
That's
And
right.
just like real life, that saw blade didn't stop until it went all the way through his sternum and through his spine.
Yeah, that was a little bullshit, but I mean, they did get the first part right. Like,
And
how the
that's-
hell did it drop off in the first place? You know what I mean?
Witch magic.
That's right.
So, but Clint, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you mentioned it because I'm not like I do. I have nostalgia blinders for this, but I'm not blind to the problems this movie has. And one of which is, yes, it throws everything out the gate right away. Like by the 20-minute mark in this movie, we're seeing that saw blade kill. We've had multiple other great kills before that. And then the movie just seems to put on the brakes for like the middle 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's all this exposition that we could have had sprinkled in throughout. They're just dumping it all on us right here in the middle part when we're having this, Scooby-Doo style investigation through the house because they're so worried about their missing son that they don't bother to look for him themselves. They just send a cop.
They're like, we don't know where the fuck he is. Somebody come in here and help us.
Yeah. My daughter's drowning in the lake. I'm going to sit here and let somebody else do it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this family deserved it. I don't.
The mother did. She pissed me off. When they get the girl when she's in bed and she's sitting there talking to the father, and the father is like, "We need to leave here. This doesn't feel right. Let's get out of this house." And the mother says, "No, she'll be fine. She'll have a few nightmares and she'll get over it. We're staying."
No, I mean it was the 80s, man. Fuck therapy.
Really?
No, kidding.
Like,
no, she's yes.
Yeah, that annoyed the shit out of me. She did not give a shit about her kids, or at least the one daughter. And why?
Yeah,
did they have
it was the one that
priest?
was it was the one that was nicer to her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why would they have a priest ogling the girl in the bikini? It was obviously like 17 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe this movie knew something.
And
before,
right. And the cop actually was relieved that he was checking out the girls. He's like, well, at least now I don't have to guess.
Yeah, you men of the cloth.
The dialogue in this movie is ridiculous.
It is. It absolutely is.
Like you could tell they had an idea for 30 minutes of a movie, and they're just trying desperately to hit that 90-minute mark.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel we get such a slow crawl of exposition. Like we get what, and I realize now looking at the IMDb, I get the Leahy reference. The family's name was Leahy.
Yes.
I never picked up on that. But we get Elvira and her son explaining what the witch is all about. And then we get a flashback to tell us what they've already told us. At least you got some cool bladder effects in that flashback.
That's right.
That was I loved that scene. I loved seeing the practical effects, like you said, the bladder under the latex, as she was possessed. I loved when he just says, "Cut the rope," and
she just
the whole stick just into the lake. That was great. I loved that. And her son, or whoever the boy was in the flashback, was that the same as the son in present? Because that's where I got confused. It looked like the same.
No, because that happened in like 1862.
Right, but I didn't know if it was some kind of
witch magic. Maybe.
Yeah.
They never established where these
was
people
the
are from.
caretaker really the witch, or
It's probably like an ancestor of hers who also had
Maybe.
a bumbling idiot son.
I think there was a little bit more to that than he was just a bumbling idiot. I feel there might have been some cognitive impairments there, Clint.
Maybe.
I'm no doctor, but
the son and the one in the flashback, forgive me, and this is not meant to be insulting at all. My first thought was Timu 18-year-old Ryan.
Oh my
Because you did have it looked like you it could have been you as a young man, but not you because you're intelligent, obviously. But just like the black shaggy hair, and yeah, I immediately went to you.
I've been compared to John Belushi a lot. That's the first time I've been compared to that guy from Superstition.
Wow.
I'm saying many years ago when you were very young, and not that
I
you're
was
old now. That
but a
just came out
boy.
completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. I got this. I feel what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah. You had a lot of some of the same physical characteristics, the color of your hair, and yeah.
We both are of European descent.
Exactly.
I feel like there's something with the location too. You know what I mean? Like, you know how people always use the phrase, there's something in the water. I think there was really something about that pond, and it was more than just the witch being killed in it in that flashback. Like that pond looked disgusting. I mean, that pond looked like you could catch chlamydia from it. I mean, it was absolutely horrible. And I was blown away by the fact that anyone was even like swimming in it.
Yeah.
Like
I would not let my kids in there. No.
Yeah. If anybody did, I'd be like, don't go under the water. If you're gonna go in, like, wear goggles, and the moment you get out, you're getting a hot shower, because then it absolutely looked like you would like get a serious infection just from coming in contact with that.
No, I would put you in an 1862 bathing suit, covered head to toe. People will think you're Amish.
Yeah. Oh, the suit with like the iron helmet that comes on. You got like the tube that comes in with the compressed air. You know what I mean? Like that scene, like the intro to Scooby-Doo. They've got like the underwater.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
I missed all that because my kid came in, but I liked the location. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I feel like the pond had a lot to do with what was wrong with a couple of characters, because
they drank the water.
Yeah, what I was saying to Nicole, I like that pond looked like you could catch chlamydia from it.
Or dysentery.
What's that standing water? That's terrible. You got mosquito nests in it, probably.
Awful. And... Ew. No, I don't do natural water.
And fish probably fucking it.
Oh God.
They definitely do.
I saw that Magic School Bus episode. Those male fish just be dropping their seed everywhere.
Yeah. Cloud burst spawning.
Yeah, it just dropped it all over those poor kids in the school bus. I didn't know what the fuck happened to them.
Oh my God.
It was a kid's show, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Although I did appreciate in the flashback that we got a wine press kill.
That was good.
I felt they held back on the wine press kill with so many outrageous, violent, bloody kills in this movie. That wine press kill could have been so good. Like, he could have just splotched everywhere, but instead we get like the blood going through the end of it, because that's what happens with the grapes. You get a shot of his sandaled feet. But it is the only movie I know of that has a wine press kill. So
yeah, I can't think of any.
Those sandals were incredibly well manufactured for 1862.
Pretty sure I saw the Nike logo on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he just got done running a marathon.
Exactly.
So Clint, you said you didn't like how little you saw of the witch.
Yes.
I really thought it was just enough. I thought it was perfect. I thought it made her super creepy. It made her more of a presence, more of a force. Like when she finally shows up at the end of the movie, like in my opinion, that's fucking terrifying. Like she's backlit and like the wind's blowing and everything. I think it looks really great. I didn't need to see her face. I saw her face in the prequel part of the movie. It was all bubbly.
And I don't know. Maybe that's just me projecting. Like maybe I just wanted to see that, and found myself disappointed that all I got was the obscured figure. Where I felt like, so many of the effects were so good, as far as the gore and some of the kills, that I was just like, come on! All they're going to give me is this dark cloaked figure. I don't get any detail whatsoever. I don't. It just a claw. That's what I get. You know what I mean? I just wanted a little bit more. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like they dropped the ball on it there.
I think they might have been doing the whole, sometimes it's scarier what you can't see than what you can see type.
Yeah, maybe.
Like they do with a lot of haunted house type, movies.
Yeah.
Nicole, how do you feel? Do you think you saw enough of The Witch, or would you have wanted to have seen more?
I think it was fine. I do. I think we, the claw was creepy, and we saw her face, like you said, in the prequel part, when she just dropped into the lake.
Toss her right in.
Cut the rope.
And that's just it. What would we have gotten? Like if they did reveal her at the end of the movie, would she have just looked like a waterlogged, like her arms looked like they had been burnt,
Right.
like pure black, but she had the claws. So is it you think she's like a lizard person under there now, or is she just like
Ted
waterlogged?
Danson in Creep Show.
Yeah,
like all
Ted
green and
Maybe
covered in seaweed and
a waterlogged corpse.
fish sperm.
I feel with the look they were going with the with the billowing wind and everything of the cloak, that seeing a waterlogged Ted Danson would have kind of ruined it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything that could have shown under that cloak that would have been as cool as what we got.
Whenever I see a movie about somebody coming out of the water, that's the first image I come to is Ted Danson in the end of Creep Show.
Yeah.
Just all green and bloated and
Ryan, you brought up the magic school bus. Now I'm feeling like the entity was Miss Frizzle. We just couldn't see her face.
Back on the bus, kids.
I do have one random observation and question. What exactly was the time frame of this movie? Like, over how much time did it cover? Because to me, it felt like a couple of days, but it could have been like one day, possibly.
I think
it might have started in 1862. It was 300
years.
Been
a couple hundred years. Well, no, it's 1862, 1962, 120 years.
Okay.
No, yeah, 120. Yeah, math, hard. I think you're right though. Like the main story, I think it only takes place over the course of a day.
Okay.
Because we only see it become night once.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious because throughout the course of this, the one thing that it did notice is 0 people changed their clothes. They were wearing the same outfits the entire way through this. And I kept coming back to that. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, when is that priest ever going to change his shirt? You know what I mean? Wearing that like maroon shirt with the little alligator patch on it.
Gator shirt.
I mean? Yeah,
everybody had one of those in the 80s.
And we had the Slut Sisters. The one wearing that halter top the whole time.
Don't body shame the Slut Sisters, okay? They're the only eye candy of this whole fucking.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I liked it. I just noticed there was no real change in outfits. The cop looked the same in every scene that we saw him.
I think it takes. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's only one day.
Is it one day? See, I got confused by that because the way they cut this up, like it felt like it was longer than that.
Yeah, I think it's because everything was so busy. Like they were working on the house. People were dying while working on the house. Yeah, it must take place over the course of one day because their level of worry about the disappearance of Billy is shockingly low if you consider that this took place over the course of more than a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Like I know everybody hates Billy, but
poor Billy.
I feel they would have cared if it had been like 2 days later and Billy still hadn't shown up.
I do want to make note that I feel like they did him dirty in this movie. Billy did not last very long, and he didn't have like a great screen presence. But we're talking about the same guy who did Bloody Birthday and was an absolute menace on screen. Like
I hate Billy in Bloody Birthday too.
Yeah,
isn't he the one with the glasses in Bloody Birthday?
Yeah,
what a fucking asshole.
He was awesome in that movie, and then he gets this thing, and I'm like, it's like it was hard to believe it was the same guy, but like I absolutely love his performance in Bloody Birthday, and this was just meh, just some kid who dropped.
I did not know that was the same kid. So I'm looking at Billy's IMDb here, and he's been in a lot of crap. This kid has been working
crap is
in the
garbage
industry.
Or crap is it just
he's a solid working actor.
Yeah.
Like he is still doing stuff to this day.
Wow.
Just doing he's doing low budget movies, like sci-fi movies, stuff like that. He's in like a couple episodes of a TV show here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, good for Billy.
Law and Order.
Surprisingly, I'm not seeing Law and Order. Everybody's on Law and Order. And
yeah, everybody's on there.
Or one of the CSIs.
Did he guest on ER at some point?
Exactly. Grey's Anatomy.
Had to have been on ER.
He was young Dar in Beastmaster. That's fucking awesome.
Oh. We still got to watch that.
Okay, well, you know what? Good for Billy.
Yeah.
Terrible in this movie. Complete asshole in Bloody Birthday, but I'm sure I didn't hate him, I guess, as young Dar for the 30 seconds he's in Beastmaster, so go that, I guess.
There you go.
Okay, so Clint, you're the only one out of the three of us, I believe, that feels any sympathy towards young Billy.
Yep.
The last thing I want to touch on is actually, again, leading into the death of Billy and the death of the family. This movie has a pretty bleak friggin' ending. The bad guy wins. And I normally don't like it when a bad guy wins in a horror movie. But I was like, when this witch got the when the witch got the priest, I was like, good for her. She earned this. What was her? It was her property.
She worked hard.
Yeah, she worked hard for this. She's earned it. She's got her little minions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were trying to take all that away from her. Take away her swamp or whatever it is. River, pond. I guess not a river. But yeah. Nicole, we all know how you feel about a dark ending, but why don't you tell the folks at home, how happy were you that this was a dark ending?
I love a dark ending. I loved this ending. I loved that she was masquerading as the kid. That was a good little twist in the end. I love that we got to see her get killed with the cross in her chest.
Yeah.
I love that she got the priest in the end. It was great. I was just smiling and giggling through the entire last 10 minutes of the movie.
Can I just say that priest wastes no fucking time in killing that kid?
No, he did not.
She's like,
he didn't hesitate for a second.
Barely gets a sentence out, and he's like, oh yeah, she's definitely evil. Doesn't even hesitate. Stabs her right in the fucking chest.
Yep.
With a cross.
Yep. And she's screaming the whole way she's backing into the lake. Like it was great.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw him get pulled in, I was just very happy.
And the last
not a single survivor.
Not a single. They all died, and they all die so fast.
Yeah.
Kind of like we just talked about this movie a couple weeks ago, Killer Party. This movie again says, to be fair, this movie had kills at the beginning. Killer Party just didn't have any kills until the end.
Right.
But this movie saves the bulk of the kills for the back half. But this movie doesn't fuck around. These kills happen fast. They're violent.
Yep.
One girl gets a wooden post through her forehead.
I was hysterical. Oh my God. When she got whacked like twice before she died. And you just see her hand, kind of collapse like, okay, she's dead. Then he hits her again and her arms just flap up.
So
I
good.
thought that was great.
That was a good
so
look.
great.
That looked good.
That was one of my favorites. I enjoyed that.
Charles Bronson just like gives up. He's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna book. I feel there was a scene missing there though.
Yeah.
Because like he's all like, oh, my wife. And then the priest is like, you go here, I'm gonna get there. But then we cut to Charles Bronson barricading himself in a room. And I know the priest didn't tell him to do that. So I feel there's a scene missing somewhere where maybe he ran into the witch and they cut it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of a sudden he's been useless through the whole movie, but he hasn't exactly been a coward. And for him to all of a sudden just completely lock up the room, which doesn't matter anyway, because he's dead 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
See, to me, he was a coward. Like,
I
he
mean-
wanted to get out of there. He wanted to get his kids out of that house, and he just let her, no, we're staying. Okay.
Yeah, like he was a coward, but when it came down to the fight or flight, he didn't seem like he was gonna just run and leave the family. He was actively trying to get his family out.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's barricading himself in a room for no fucking reason. So that was a little weird. The cuts were a little weird there. Clint, what did you think of the wrap up of the movie? You seem to be the one most negative towards the movie, so I'm curious.
I like the fact that they picked up the pace again. It's like we said in the beginning, they gave us rapid succession of kills, then they gave us a long slow spot in the middle with some exposition, and then when the priest is finally like, okay, I gotta go destroy this place, and try to cleanse everything of this witch entity, and attempts to save the family. And all of his efforts are for nothing, because they just have like one kill after another, like leading up to like his death. So the bleak ending was welcome for me. I enjoyed that. You could sum this movie up in, hey, there's a house, there's a witch in it, everyone dies, the end.
Sounds like a great time to jump into the ratings. This was my pick, so I guess I'll go first. This movie is one that I do have some nostalgia blinders on. I do try to watch movies with a critical eye. There are problems with it. As we discussed, the middle of the movie is a complete slog, especially because it starts off so hard and ends so hard. Spaced out a few of the kills, I think that would have definitely helped fix things up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But instead we have like 20 minutes of this banger supernatural slasher. Then we got like Murdoch mysteries for like 35 minutes. And then we close off with, again, supernatural slasher. Everything else about the movie I really enjoy. I think it's shot very well. Again, the director is a well-known cinematographer, and it shows with the way this movie is shot. It looks gorgeous. The lighting, thankfully, in high definition, looks fantastic. The VHS copy I own is so dark you can't even fucking see anything. So I was so excited to see this movie on DVD and Blu-ray and get a better looking treatment, because this movie does look gorgeous. One thing we didn't talk about that I think is fantastic in this is the score. I love the score when the witch is around.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, those loud piano keys and
Mhm.
the other orchestral instruments just going nuts. I think it's a fantastic soundtrack as well. The acting is woof. This feels like an American version of a European horror movie, if I was going to describe it in any way. Just the acting is so, it goes from flat to ridiculous on a dime. It's all over the place. None of it's really great. But yeah, again, though, the blinders, they blind hard. So I can't give this any less than 7.5 out of 10.
I agree with almost everything you said. I really enjoyed this. I thought the practical effects were fantastic. The story was good. It did get very slow in the middle, which I did not like. I found myself like picking up my phone because it was just not enough for me to pay attention to. But the little things like his, well put together sandals, in the 1800s, and the cop when the cops walked into the room where the dead body was. Obviously, it's a crime scene, and he's just touching everything. That bothered me. But it's little stuff like that, like Clint says, like I'm nitpicking. It's the acting was not fantastic, but they did kill a few kids, and I did like that, and I love the ending. And Ryan, I am 100% with you on this one, 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Hell doth frozen over.
We agreed on something.
We agreed on something.
That is insane. Insane.
80s
like
haunted house movie with practical effects. I am gonna love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clint's like 2 out of 10. Fuck this movie.
No, I didn't do that,
Like a piece of garbage, can't even have a laundry machine kill.
Yeah, I know. I was so disappointed.
Cheat was unharmed.
That's why they never changed their clothes. They couldn't do laundry with that janky machine.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So yeah, visually this was a fantastic movie. If I scored it just on that, this would get stellar results. But I wanted a little bit more story. I wanted the exposition to be broken up a little bit more. I would have liked maybe perhaps a little bit more creative way of introducing that to us. I would have liked a little bit more visuals with the actual witch herself, but I didn't have to have that. And the bleak ending did not bother me at all. The beautiful thing is when you hate all of the characters, it's very enjoyable to watch them all die. So I had no connection to any of them. I felt very little sympathy for anybody who was on screen at a given point in time. Even Billy, although it was sad that he dropped his glass of milk. But I won't cry over spilled milk. I will say that it didn't get quite as good of marks as what you guys gave it. For me, there were some things that I left off. But I think the budget was used well. The scene choices were made. Good visuals, good lighting, good camera work, good transitions. I feel like this movie was edited well. It had a nice flow to it. Actors did not really embody the characters, but I mean, they did their job. The soundtrack was good. Great effects. I definitely would call it a memorable movie, and I would certainly watch it again. Matter of fact, I feel like I should watch it again because, I feel like it would make more sense to me on a second viewing. I feel like I would get a little bit more out of the story if I applied myself and watched it again instead of just the one time that I looked at it here. I gave it a 17 out of 30. That's a 56.6 or a 5.7 out of 10.
You're dead to me.
Fair enough.
All right. 5.6, 2 7.5s, 2 5.2, 2 7.5s, 1 5.6, which makes for an overall average score of, 7.4. Sounds great.
Okay. Barely brought it down.
All right. Just to wrap things up here before we get into what we're watching next, as always, we're going to play our quick little game where you guys try to guess the letterboxed. That's it. The letterboxed ratings. So this movie has a total of 3,281 ratings. What is the average rating for Superstition from 1982? Clint, I think it's your turn to go first.
1.8.
1.8 for Clint. Nicole?
Is this out of 5 or 10?
It's out of 5, and it can be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3.
I'm going to say 3.2.
Nicole is going to take it. This movie has a
Finally.
3.0 on Letterboxd.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
right, Clint. Well, to be
I
fair, that's
finally
actually
won
closer to your
one.
rating than me and Nicole's. So.
I finally won one.
Killer party.
We got the
Good
ba from
night.
Nicole, which means she got a
Good
win.
night.
All right. So there are some 1-star ratings. What percentage of those 3,000 plus ratings are 1 star? Nicole, you can go first.
5%.
5% for Nicole. Clint.
I'm gonna go with 3%.
Clint is going to take this one. It is only 2% with 1-star ratings.
Wow.
That's a good thing, though. That's
That is
low.
a good thing.
That's good.
Yeah. 3 stars got the highest by far, 30%, or 1,000 ratings were 3 stars for the movie. I was going to read one of the 1-star ratings, but apparently the people who hate this movie really fucking hate this movie because every 1-star review is like 6 fucking paragraphs. So we're not doing that.
Okay.
Just really quick before we again shout out what movie we're watching. We'll get the plugs out of the way. Clint, you got anything you want to plug?
I would just like to plug my new YouTube channel, the Grease Stain Cinema, brand new YouTube channel, brand new show on it, and of course we are going to have this show on it, and I'm hoping at some point that we can move over the Amityville retrospective, and maybe pick up the Poltergeist retrospective again. That would be cool. We could revive some of that we were doing on Scream Until You Like It. I'd love to finish up some of those projects that we started. And yep, that's pretty much it.
All right. Nicole, do you have anything this week?
Not really.
That's okay. That's okay. That just means you're getting some R&R, and that's a hell of a
No,
lot
I
better
am not.
than-
It's,
No,
called,
it's-
it's called fucking Christmas. That's what it's
Oh, that's
called.
right. That
Bob
thing.
fucking humbug. I hate this time of year.
Hey, you guys, I'm Danish. I got to deal with Christmas a whole day earlier than you guys.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm panicking even more here. But yeah, as per usual, I'm 1/3 of the hormonal werewolves. By the time this episode drops, what the fuck will be 2 weeks from now? I guess I just spoiled I broke the illusion there. We will be actually, I think we'll be starting our first podcast episode. I finally convinced the wolves to try podcasting.
Wow.
Because it's a lot easier to edit a podcast episode than it is to edit a video. So, I believe, we're doing New Year, New Me, or New Us, and we're going to be doing New Year's Evil. So that should be releasing around the same time as this episode drops.
Ooh.
But yeah, that's all I got. Nicole, it is your pick next week. What movie do you have for us?
We are going to do one of my all-time favorites, and one that I know Ryan is not particularly fond of. I have decided on Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. Because I love Tony Todd.
All right. I'm not saying a goddamn thing.
Save it for the
Save it for the episode. Which will be fantastic. I can't wait to discuss.
Yes,
Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh.
Yes.
The Virginia Madsenless Candyman movie.
It's Tony Todd. Who gives a shit?
I feel Tony Todd doesn't do for me what he's doing for you. So I don't.
Yeah. There's a lot of prequel stuff, and I love a good prequel, but we'll get into that next week.
We will get into that next week. So hopefully you tune in for that other horror podcast where, again, like we say, so many podcasts try to be the one and the only. We just try to be that other one. Still don't got an outro. Have a good night, all.